exists a type of soul born with an insatiable desire to live authentically, to the core.
They do not know how to pretend. They cannot love half-heartedly. And they refuse to settle for relationships that merely fill a void. For them, truth matters more than comfort. Love, if it fails to touch the deepest layers of the soul, is better left unhad. Your avoidant man has been secretly testing you since the moment you met. These aren't obvious tests, like teasing you to see if you'll get mad, or watching how you react to other women giving him attention. No, these are subtle psychological trials designed to confirm his deepest fears, that you'll eventually hurt him, control him, or reject him, just like everyone else has. To love such a man is to step willingly into these hidden trials. He doesn't announce them. He may not even consciously know he's running them. But his nervous system remembers every scar, every moment of abandonment, every time vulnerability was punished instead of cherished. He is not testing because he wants to push you away. He is testing because he cannot yet believe love can be safe. The first trial is silence. He disappears into himself. His words dry up, his energy pulls away. And suddenly you feel a wall where closeness used to be. In this moment, every fiber of your being wants to chase, to demand, to break through the silence. But the silence test is not about your need to be reassured. It is about his need to see if you will respect the space he retreats into. He is silently asking, can you love me without trying to control me? Can you stand steady even when I am distant? The right answer is calm presence. Not a frantic storm of questions, not guilt-soaked pleas, but the stillness of someone who knows their own worth. You don't smother, you don't collapse. You breathe, you remain grounded, and you show him you will not turn his silence into a battlefield. In that moment, you prove that love does not need constant noise to survive. Then comes the autonomy test. Sometimes he vanishes without a word. Other times, he gathers the courage to say out loud, I need space. For him, these words are dangerous. To ask for space feels like holding out a wound, waiting to see if you will stab it. In his nervous system, asking for what he needs feels like an invitation for punishment, guilt, or abandonment. Here, your choice is everything. If you respond with panic, with accusation, or with control, you confirm his worst belief. Love is a trap. I cannot be myself and be loved at the same time. But if you respond with steady grace, if you simply say, take the time you need, I'll be here when you're ready, then you plant a seed of safety in him. For perhaps the first time, he feels the possibility that freedom and love can coexist. That connection does not mean suffocation. That intimacy does not mean prison. And paradoxically, it is when you release him that he returns to you with more depth, more commitment, more trust. As trust builds, another layer reveals itself. He removes the mask he wears for the world and shows you the unfiltered version of his mind. This is the mask-off test. He speaks the darker truths he usually hides, the jagged edges, the cynicism, the realism others find too heavy. He is not doing this to impress you, nor to push you away. He is doing it to see if his honesty will be punished. Will you recoil? Will you try to fix him? Will you tell him to lighten up or be more positive? If so, you fail. The answer here is not to blindly agree with him or to glorify his pain. The answer is curiosity. You listen, you ask questions. You show him that his inner world, however sharp or heavy, can exist in the light of your presence without fear of judgment. And in that moment, a door opens. he realizes his mind can finally be seen without censorship. And through that, intimacy blooms. But the trials do not stop there. Next comes the competition test. He mentions an ex, a woman from his past, a friend who once mattered deeply. To the untrained eye, this seems cruel, unnecessary. But in reality, it is not a test of loyalty. It is a test of security. He wants to know, will your jealousy consume you? Will you try to erase my history, control my attention, or chain me to constant reassurance? The right response is confidence, maybe even playfulness. You hold your ground. You remind him, silently, that you are not threatened by ghosts, that you are secure enough to stand beside his past, because you know you are his present. In that moment, he learns he does not need to guard himself against your insecurity. He sees you as a partner strong enough to hold your own center. Finally, the co-executive test, the most important of all. Here, he steps back in certain areas of life, sometimes deliberately, sometimes unconsciously, to see if you can carry weight without his constant guidance. The unspoken question is this: are you my partner or another responsibility I must carry? To pass this test, you do not need perfection. You do not need to never stumble. What matters is communication, integrity, and follow-through. You ask what he needs, you clarify what matters, and then you prove that when responsibility is in your hands, it will not be dropped carelessly, that you can hold your part with strength and with honor. In doing so, you show him the rarest truth of all, that he is not alone, that he can finally rest beside someone who carries life with him, not against him. If you pass these trials, the transformation begins. His nervous system, once locked in survival, begins to relax. The walls he built to protect himself soften. He begins to trust, not just with words, but with the deepest, most guarded parts of himself. He begins to believe that love can be safe, that intimacy does not always mean loss, that closeness does not always mean control. These tests are not punishments. They are not traps designed to break you. They are invitations to rise, to steady yourself, to show through patience and presence that love can breathe. That love can be both free and faithful.
And when that lesson finally takes root in him, you do not just gain his love, you gain his trust, the deepest, rarest gift he has to offer